Hello and welcome back to Princess Evangile. Right, Masaya, you're about to say something, and I know this is going to be really difficult for you, but please, try not to say anything stupid. I know it's a challenge, I know I'm asking a lot of you, but nothing stupid, come on. Would you accept me? Huh? Ayaka-san stared at me, but even without repeating myself, she understood what I meant, and the sweat felt hot and cold on my body, and I waited wordlessly for a response. Okay, I'll admit, that wasn't the worst way you could phrase that. Well done, Masaya, you managed not to make me smack myself in the forehead. And she laughed out loud. Hey, that's mean. It's just... that line, it's usually what the girl says, isn't it? She was laughing. It looked like I'd gotten through. Well, maybe. It's just... since you said earlier you'd rather have a memory. And her laughter died off. She wiped her eyes, and a moment later her expression turned dead serious. A memory, huh? Be a memory for me too, of course. I'll say it again just to be clear. Ayaka-san, on your birthday, I want to make love to you. I understood what you meant the first time. Oh, right. But I'm happy. I was waiting for you to say something like that. I'm not kidding, guys. You don't want that kind of build-up. I know people who, deliberately sort of said, "Oh yeah, well, it's going to happen on my birthday or whatever." They all regretted doing that. This is what happens when you have drunken conversations with people in this country. We lose all our inhibitions sooner or later, and we end up discussing things that we just don't talk about in polite society. So I know more about the sexual habits of a lot of the people I know than I ever want to. Because I've never been so... Okay, that's a lie. I've only once in my life have I ever been so drunk that I couldn't remember the next morning what happened. I have perfect recollection of the next morning, of what happened the previous night, pretty much every time. Okay, I'll rephrase that. I have memory loss no greater than my usual memory loss caused by the fact that my memory is awful. But I remember everything I would have remembered if I hadn't been drinking, so... yeah, I know a lot more about my friends' sex lives than I ever wanted to. And yeah, everyone who's basically said that they effectively planned the time they were going to, lose their virginity, deeply regretted doing it, apparently. Now, I'll admit, I'm operating on a sample group of about 3 people. But, 3 people who all agree it was a bad idea, that's indicating a trend. It's not enough to be statistically significant, but it's enough to pay attention. And in that moment, my heart gave a leap, and the strange discomfort I'd felt on learning the date of her birthday, it felt like nothing now. That's right, you can't do something like that alone. So in that respect, having you as a birthday present might be nice. Well, it's true that is the kind of thing the girl usually says. And a cold sweat formed on my body as I remembered the ridiculous way I'd chosen to put it. No, trust me, you could have said it a lot worse. I've heard a lot worse in the past. Well, Masaya-kun, I remember that great body you had when we took those pictures. It's a pretty high quality present. Just kidding. I really am turning into an old lady. That's no laughing matter. But yeah, it's such an occasion. We better make sure we don't blow it. I'm not going to say it. We're all thinking it, so I'm not going to say it. Blow it? That's true. It was a possibility. I was a virgin after all. I wanted my first time to be a great experience and not a failure. Still, I figure that's how virgins always felt. Hey, can I come to your room tonight? Sure, of course you can. Then we can practice for the big show. The big show could be a euphemism for sexual intercourse. And then again, Ayaka-san may not have been using it in that sense. Practice? She had to be talking about sex. when I thought about that, I felt a strange feeling inside, like a jolt from the pit of my stomach. Well, see you later. Salutations. In the end, Ayaka-san didn't actually finish lunch, but left with a tray in hand. Class ended, the sun went down, we ate dinner, and at last we had free time. And for some reason the events of the day seemed to pass slower than usual. I heard a very faint knock on my door. Come in. My voice sounded a little strange, a little more higher-pitched than usual, and Ayaka-san slipped in, a shy smile on her face. Salutations. Hey. We sat down next to each other on the bed. Neither of us spoke, and some time passed between us in silence. And in the quiet room, I was more aware than usual of the sound of my own heartbeat. I guess I'd better make the first move. I just put a hand on her hip when... Listen, Masaya-kun. Yes? And I removed my hand reflexively. Ayaka-san looked at me in mild amusement and leaned against me, so I reached out again. I put my hand on her hip, and Ayaka-san leaned her weight on me, increasing the air of intimacy between us. To be honest, I'm a little nervous. I'm fairly confident that's normal. I feel the same way. It's our first time after all. Right, yeah, there's that too. Is there something else for you? There's another reason I've been thinking so much about my mother since that kiss. Huh? Back in the apartment, you tried to assault me while I was drunk, remember? Yeah, sorry about that. No, it's fine, that's in the past. Okay! Okay! You tried to assault me. No, it's fine, that's in the past. Okay! I'm just not going to comment. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. When it happened, there was something that really shocked me. Nope, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Shocked you? I trembled for a minute, afraid of what she might say. But the words that came out of her mouth were something I never could have expected. For a moment, just for a moment, you know, I hoped that it would happen. Don't get the wrong idea, okay? It's only because it's you. You're the man I love, so I hear you. So that really shocked you. Ayaka-san nodded. You weren't in your right mind. We weren't even dating yet, but for some reason just for a moment, I was going to let it happen. So I thought maybe I really was a slut. And back to my previous comment of I really hate the word slut being used in a negative context. Because let's face it, you know, guy who sleeps around a lot called a player, you know, and that's a good thing. Woman who sleeps around a lot called a slut, and that's a bad thing. It's medieval. It's sexist as all hell, and it's bollocks, frankly. Ugh. Ayaka-san. And that's why I started feeling so guilty about the idea of having sex, but that's not right. It's not bad if it's the person you're in love with. Masaya-kun, do you want me? Okay, I would like to just... You know, I'm trying not to go on rants again, but just... It's not bad if you're two consenting adults. That's it. Heck, it's not bad if you're a group of 12 consenting adults, providing you're all consenting adults. Anyway. Yeah. Me too. I want you, so... Is it wrong for us to do this? I don't think it's wrong at all. No, I'm sure it's not wrong. That's right. It's a natural feeling. Can't be anything wrong about it. She whispers the words as if to herself, and then looked up to my face. Masaya-kun, I love you. I love you too, Ayaka-san. When you kiss me, I feel so happy. It's like my legs are going to give out from under me. I thought it was cute how she blushed when she said things like that. Since it's going to be my birthday present, I don't want to end up having to stop halfway through because I freaked myself out. So, I thought it would be best for me to get used to it a little. Practice, right? That's right. Now that has definitely been trimmed out. In preparation for the day, we practiced diligently, and at last the day arrived. What the hell does practiced diligently mean? Are we talking about, a good old-fashioned grope? Because everybody loves a grope. Seriously, what is that quote from? I'm sure that's either Civilization or The Ape That Got Lucky, but I can't remember which. Which were both comedy series that were done by BBC Radio 4. Where it was Chris Addison giving a lecture with the assistance of Professor Austin Herring, author of such works as... I'm trying to remember some of the ridiculous book titles, because it was a comedy series, so Professor Austin Herring was obviously a character. And every time he'd written a book, they had, silly, humorous titles, but I can't remember any of the good ones. I'd have to look him up. But yes, and I'm sure there's a comment where he's on about a symbiotic relationship between aphids and something else, and this creature, strokes the aphids to get them to release a milky substance. The comment is, in what way is that symbiotic? What do the aphids get out of it? Well, they get a grope. Everybody loves a grope. I have a feeling I might have told this story once already in this Let's Play. Anyway. Happy birthday to you. I laid down the birthday cake I'd snuck out of school to buy, and sang the obligatory song. And Ayaka-san looked a little bashful, but still happy. Happy birthday. Thank you. This is the first time anyone besides my sister has ever sung for me. Ayaka-san blew out the candles with one long breath. The cake's amazing. It's even got my name written on the chocolate bar. Did you order this just for today? Yeah. Lavage de Cour makes birthday cakes. I called them. Thanks for going to so much trouble. Well, it's the least I could do. Oh my, so modest. Even though we're just about to start the main event. Yeah. We exchanged a smile, blushing. And we split up the cake, which was piled high with colourful kiwi and strawberry. Delicious. Well, Lavage de Cour really does make the best cakes. Oh, I wish they'd stop talking about cake. I haven't had breakfast yet, and it's pushing 9:30. And I'm not even a great cake fan. Cake's kind of alright to me. Let's face it, for my birthday, I always have a cheesecake. Seriously. John Tovey's cheesecake recipe. If you can find it, look it up. It's amazing. Anyway. It really is delicious. That green tea cake was delicious too. Oh, you mean that one? Yeah. Oh, for God's sake, another flashback? Oh, a flashback to when he had eyes! Yeah, well, to be honest, I was so focused on your fingers, I barely even tasted it. I completely forgot about that. God, that really takes me back. It's already been half a year since we met. Ayaka-san stopped eating, and she gazed into my face. When Rai said she was bringing a boy here, I just thought she's doing something crazy again. I never thought I'd join the White Lily Society, and I never thought I'd actually try to help them for real, not in my wildest dreams. And most of all, I never thought that a boy I barely knew would become the most important person in my life. If I had a time machine and went back and told my past self that, I think she'd fall over laughing. It's so strange. I feel so grateful to Rise. I nodded. It had certainly been under strange circumstances, but if I hadn't met Ride-san that night, I wouldn't have had the past 7 months. Back then, I didn't even have a place to sleep. Now I had a home, I had friends. More than anything, I had a girl that I loved. And she loved me too. It was a deeply moving thought. Masaya-kun. She sat up straight suddenly, and so did I. I'm looking forward to 7 more months, and more. Likewise. Fade to black. After the birthday present was over... You know, you can over-censor. Here's the thing, I appreciate this is meant to be the all-ages version, But you can have some fondling without, going into the nitty-gritty. Let's face it, look at roommates, for an example. Because I've done all the romance tracks for that and put them all up on the channel. That is not anything that I would feel would be unsuitable for anyone below the age of, put it this way, as long as you're over about 10, I'd be comfortable with you seeing the stuff from roommates. Now, granted, I'm more liberal than most about things like that. Because let's face it, our government is currently trying to effectively ban all porn from the internet. That's not even a joke. Our Prime Minister has basically said he wants to make sure that, children can't access it, and if that means getting rid of it entirely, that's what he wants to do. He is a goddamn idiot, frankly. But anyway, after the birthday present was over, we lay side by side on the bed, snuggling. It's not too hot. It's fine. I can feel your heartbeat, Masaya-kun. Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Feeling someone else's heartbeat was, well, it was a strange sensation. I'd love to just fall asleep right here. Would that be bad? A little. I'm so exhausted. I figure you could sleep well if you're exhausted. I'm pretty exhausted too. Well, that's true. But you'll see what happens if I fall asleep like that. I'll be so exhausted my mouth will hang open. I'll make all sorts of unladylike faces. I think you're worrying too much. No, it's true. I don't want my lovely boyfriend to see me like that. Right. But you can go to sleep if you want, Masaya-kun. But after you're asleep, I'll sneak out. I'm not sure if I can sleep like this. You'll be fine. I'm betting your way. Way more tired than I am. Couldn't argue there. Truth was, even just talking like this, felt like I was drifting into the deep abyss of sleep. Yeah, well, good night then. Good night. I love you, Masaya-kun. I love you too. Aww, isn't that sweet? God, I'm a cynical bastard sometimes. Yes, as I freely admit, I think they've been really twitchy when they've come to their... Censoring is entirely the wrong word, because censoring can only be performed by a government. Their trimming of this game, I think they've overdone it a lot, because frankly, you can be sensual without being pornographic, I think is the best way to describe it. And they've just trimmed out even the sensual stuff. But that's the way it is. It was the day after our first time together. Ayaka-san invited me to slip out of school with her again. We were heading to her house. In other words, the headmistress's house. This is nice. There were no buses running at this time of night, so we decided to borrow one of the bicycles set aside by the school. It's easy going down. We'll have to walk the way back, though. Just get us there with guts, Masaya-kun. Not happening. Aww. She smiled and squeezed me tightly. It was a sign of how much closer we'd gotten now that we'd crossed that line. I'd be happy to know. But why are we going to see the headmistress? She told me where we were going, but not why we were going there. I guess I wanted to introduce my mother to my boyfriend. Something like that. Seriously? Oh? You don't want to? It's not that I don't want to, I'm surprised you want to introduce me to the headmistress. Well, there are a few things I need to say to Mother as well. Oh? I was hoping it wouldn't turn into another fight. But if it did, no matter what, I was going to take my girlfriend's side. We descended the hill, and Ayaka-san told me how to get the rest of the way. Whoa! Once we arrived, I couldn't help but cry out. God, your house is amazing! Kit Mikado House is fairly well known in this area, along with Rise's Rusin House and Marika's Maiga House. Even though it was her own home, Ayaka-san spoke of it as if it belonged to someone else. Then again, that's true. Ayaka-san isn't related to the headmistress by blood. I called ahead of time, so let's go. Sure. Oh, Jesus. Get your flashing neon bitch signs ready. The headmistress's expression didn't change when she saw me there, so she must have been told that I was coming. Ayaka-san, Onikoki Masaya, leaving school is a violation of the rules. Well, I do it all the time. I can't believe you just admit to it. And to come here with a boy at this hour. You are as unladylike as ever. What is so funny? Mother. Okay. Huh. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that car horn go off outside. Itchy ear. Mother, I came here today to introduce you to my boyfriend. The headmistress's response was utterly apathetic. Introduce me? I have no interest in who you are dating, you know. Well, that's cold. It may not be connected by blood, but that was still no way for a mother to talk to her daughter. I know that. Then why did you break school regulations at a time such as this to come and see me? Mother, I will not let you claim to have forgotten what you said to me that morning. I didn't come here to get you to take it back. I said something similar to you then, and I won't take that back either. How dare you! But I'm going to tell you this much, Mother. Masaya-kun and I, we are in love. Mother, this is the first time I have ever truly loved someone. And? So it's the first time I've realised what a wonderful thing it is to love someone, and to be loved in return. To disgrace something so wonderful with such filthy words, I feel confident in saying that that is wrong. You can feel that way if you want. A person's feeling is their own, but you cannot fool the eyes of God. In chapter 8 of the Gospel of John, it was forbidden to throw stones at adulterous women because of the Sermon on the Mount. I do not need a sermon on the Gospels, Mother. And by the way, if you really do love Dad, then I take back what I said that morning. I believe I now can accept the idea that love is blind. It had been an adulterous love affair that had brought them together, and that morning Ayaka-san had called her mother a home-wrecker. I don't care what you think. The headmistress's reply was uncharacteristically throwaway, and she averted her face. I just feel like love triumphs over religious dogma. Is that all you came here to say? The headmistress cut her off, and Ayaka-san nodded. Yes. Then please leave. You have an early day tomorrow. Yes. Salutations, then. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I keep taking you out to do all these boring things. I shook my head. But I feel completely refreshed. What happened then was really festering inside me. I'm glad to hear it. I'm just sorry that the headmistress wasn't willing to meet you halfway. Well, Mother is who she is. But I was surprisingly serious about what I said back there. What you said back where? Taking back that I called her a home-wrecker. I still don't like adultery and immorality, but if she really was in love, I don't think Mother could have helped it, even if she is a Christian. Ah, is the headmistress a Christian? Yeah, I'll be honest, you don't... If you're not a Christian, the odds of you knowing the Bible well enough to quote it like that are fairly low. You know, unless you have a specific reason for looking up quotes. You know, because I do actually have a friend of mine who loves looking up Bible quotes just so he can find the contradictory ones. Because he's, as I say, he's basically he's the atheist equivalent of a Jehovah's Witness. He's the kind who really would go pounding on somebody's door saying, "Have you heard the good news? There is no God." Yeah, he can be a little bit annoying at times. Yeah, that's what she was talking about before. Matthew chapter 5. Even I remember that one. Jesus said, "You must not look lustfully at another man's wife." Moses' 10 Commandments forbid adultery too. That's why I think Mother's decision was more divisive to her than it would be to someone with a normal ethical viewpoint. They say it on dramas a lot. All it comes down to is when you happen to meet. Yeah. And if that's the mindset she was approaching it with, then she might have thought that moving forward was her only option. Well, lucky. We met each other early on. Yeah, I hit the jackpot on the first time. I've got the best dating luck in the world. You're praising me way too much. Oh, really? Hey, Masaya-kun. I suddenly felt a light bite on the earlobe. I nearly lost control of the bike's handlebars. But despite the wavering of the bike, Ayaka-san kept on talking. I'll never forgive you if you cheat on me, okay? And as she spoke, she twisted one of my nipples, and a strange sound leaked from my mouth. I may seem detached, but I have a really strong possessive streak, okay? Right. I understand. Swear I'll never do anything like that. I love you, Masaya-kun. And with that last kiss, Ayaka-san pulled her body away, and the feeling of soft flesh against my back disappeared. We'll be together forever, Ayaka-san. Yeah. Ah, young love. They're idiots, but they are, Nope, they're mostly idiots. The next day was Saturday, so we only had a half day of classes. And after class, we withdrew to my room in the dorm, where we enjoyed some light conversation and cuddling. I really need to get my room to a place where I can have you over. You can't have me over now? Not right now. I've always been pretty bad at cleaning up, ever since I was little. Ah! It's messy, you mean? It's just awful. I just throw my used underwear on the floor. You should at least clean it. I was joking about the used part, but after I dry them, it's too much of a pain to put them away. I just let them lie around. Well, I know where everything is, at least, but my sister considered it to be a total chaos. I'll be honest, that sounds exactly like the room I'm currently sitting in, which I like to defend as an organised chaos. Because, to the untrained eye, yes, it looks like a chaotic mess, but I know exactly where everything is, I know exactly where everything's supposed to be, and, yeah, everything is perfectly acceptable with how I want it, so, yeah. Ah, that's what messy people always say, that they know where everything is. I did just say that, didn't I? Although sometimes I forget to wash things and I ended up putting on unwashed underwear. Whoa. It's true. It is. But I'm going to be more careful about that kind of thing from now on. After all, if I wore underwear like that in front of my boyfriend, it'd be humiliating. Or are you thinking you might actually like to see that? No, of course not. A line like that coming from Japan, the country infamous for the fact that it has vending machines that have used underwear. Is that actually a thing? I mean, I've heard that's a thing, but that's one of those things that could well be complete and utter bollocks. Anywho, that's probably a reasonable enough point to actually end this part. So I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next.